It's a little bit more activating way of being in child's pose. I also like it because it opens the shoulders, opens the flow of energy down the shoulders through the arms. So inhaling and exhaling, breathing in and breathing out. Letting ourselves feel. One of the sayings is, to feel is to heal, right? So we let ourselves feel. Let's go ahead. When you're ready, come up to hands and knees. And get a little movement through the pelvis, just connecting body and breath. And I also really encourage making sound too. So, you know, especially when you're at your house, right, you can really feel free to let it out. So feel free to let your body speak anytime it needs to, like, whatever wants to come out, right? So let's go to down dog. To make your way to down dog, what you can do is actually just curl the toes under first. Then the hips go up, the knees stay bent. Then eventually the legs straighten. And from there we'll walk into down dog, so right, left with the legs. And again, so even though we're moving around, we still want to stay focused on the breath. So as much as possible, just let yourself come back to that rhythmic connection, that 1 to 2 breathing, inhaling and exhaling twice as long. Breathing in and breathing out. Good, and then from there, feet are going to walk up to hands. So we're hanging over. And let's give the legs a wiggle there, so just right, left. Sometimes it feels really good to let the head go up and down, left and right. Just shake it around. Back of the neck releases. Feels good. And then let's just kind of rub the hands on the legs a little bit. And so the reason why I have us do this is because it stimulates the nerves, right? And once the nerves get stimulated, we're going to feel like the body's like more willing to open, to let go. It's more receptive, right? It feels you connecting with it in a loving way, so it's going to soften. Good. And then from there, we're rolling up standing. There's no rush there, so enjoy it. Go slow, all the way up. Awesome. Good. And then let's do a little lateral stretching. You don't have to turn. I'm just turning so you can see me a little better. Whichever way you wouldn't normally go to that side first. So you're just arching to the side. And then back and forth. And I love this for the front of the hips. So a lot of times we might just focus on the spine, but focus on the frontal spine, the whole frontal body. So pelvis, hips, waist. Let's do it one more time on each side, inhaling. So again, that focus on cultivating joy. There's always like one cell you can find in your body that's smiling. Sometimes it's like in the kidney or someplace like that, right? There's always one cell that's smiling in there. One of the trillions, right? And then let's come back up. Move the arms a few times. So inhaling and exhaling. We're going to say one Om if you feel more comfortable saying something else like peace or maybe love, whatever resonates with you. I like to think of Om as like the encompassing of all things good, right? So dedicate it to whatever you want to dedicate it to this morning. Okay, so one Om, inhaling. Good. Arms reach up once more, inhaling. And then as you exhale, we're going to fold. So forward bend, taking it down over the legs. Again, head is loose, body is relaxed, the knees can bend here. So love that feeling in the hip flexors. When you let the knees bend, it's like the hip flexors can melt. Feels good. Back of the neck releasing. And then inhaling up and out. And if anyone ever has anything going on with their body, definitely let me know, because I've worked through, my own practice, a lot of things, that were feeling painful or uncomfortable. So I feel like I can definitely maybe help you, offer some things, some helpful things. But I'll definitely suggest things as we go along too that have helped me along the way, just with just tension, shoulders, neck, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do this 2 more times. Inhaling, lifting up and out. Breath flows down the spine through the backs of the legs. Exhale, chest folds to the thighs. And once more, inhaling. Hands can go on the shin. Exhaling, folding down. Good. You guys, let's take left foot back here. So you're going to go into a lunge. You can drop that left knee down if you like. And just let, again, the frontal spine open, which means when we let the frontal spine open, we want to let breath connect all the way down the front of the body. And really follow that pathway, right? Really follow that pathway. And then, good. You're going to step back, plank position. Let's take it to the knees. Feel free to let your body move. You want to twist it out, do it, right? That's one of the things I encourage is just follow that flow, follow your flow, right? Let's take it all the way down to the ground. So the forehead's going to melt to the earth. And again, maybe the legs want to kick around. And do you think, I think about this too, do you think maybe that like the reason why we felt so much joy as children naturally is because, like we were connected to that spontaneous energy, that spontaneous movement. So it's like as children we wouldn't have made ourselves be still here, right? We would have just let ourselves do what we want to do. So let that energy flow through you and let yourself move the way you feel inspired to move. Okay, so head is to the ground, shoulders circling back, and then legs are going to get strong here. So you actually want to point the toes. From there, roll the shoulders down the back and let yourself lift up. So we're going into like an up dog / cobra. If it's too intense, bend the elbows a little bit. And then from there, we're just going to give the shoulders a little bit of movement. And I love to start my practice this way too. I don't always move this much, but again, just movement through the spine, the hips. And again, we're breathing this breath into the body and allowing that healing energy to flow. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Let's go ahead and sit back onto the heels, child's pose, resting forehead to ground. Oh, I wish you guys were here with me so I could give you an adjustment right now, right? Maybe you have someone with you that wants to love on you a little bit, right? So they can come over and press on your back. That stuff feels really good. Just inhaling and exhaling. And a lot of times, too, if I'm not with a friend, even if you just sort of imagine someone giving that to you, it feels very, very healing, very, very nourishing. And just even feeling the breath, or we could say life itself, your higher power, loving you, nourishing you. Okay, so let's go ahead and come up to a down dog. So you can bend the knees and then let the legs straighten. And let's walk our way in again. So right, left with the legs. Good. And then from there, left leg's going to go up. So left leg goes to the sky. Sometimes it feels good to circle the knee around here. Feel free to do that. Or just even to straighten and bend. Inhaling and exhaling. This left foot steps forward. The right knee comes down to the ground. Good. And then, again, frontal spine opens. So inhaling, breath moves through the front of the body. Feel that connection to energy, to light, breath, and then, good, right foot. Actually, no, let's change it. Let's go back. Plank position again. So knees to the ground. And then from there, chaturanga. We lower to the floor. Same thing as before. So head comes down to the earth. I love this position because for me it's a place where I feel like I can just let everything go. There's a reason why in many practices, religious practices, this is one of the things they do, right? They bring their whole body to the earth. So it's called pranam. We let everything go. It's a good place to let our prayers flow to. And then shoulders roll down and back. Legs are strong. And we lift up. So one of the things I really emphasize, let's go ahead and lower back down to the ground just for a moment, because I want us to see the difference. A lot of us have maybe come from, you know, power yoga classes or vinyasa classes where it's almost like a pushing into up dog, right? I don't do that. I used to do that. I don't do that now, right? So I always kind of build into the pose. And what I like to do, again, is this strong lower body. The more you get legs and glutes engaged, and I mean really, really, really squeeze it, the more you're going to feel supported to lift your torso, right? To lift your spine up. You're going to feel all that strength come into your low back. And then from there, there's not going to be any strain, right? So it's basically like lower body does the work. So go ahead and lift and just let yourself feel that. And lower body does the work. Yep. There really isn't a pushing the spine back, right? And then from there, let's go back child's pose. And just empty out and let go. Breathing in and breathing out. Shiva calls child's pose wisdom pose, wisdom pose. Wisdom asana. And feel that connection to source. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then from there, we're lifting up and we're going to downward facing dog. So hips floating to the sky again. How are we feeling? Hope we're feeling good. Okay, so let's flow a little bit here. So left leg is going to go up to the sky. So inhaling, reaching it high. And I feel like we can handle a little bit of activation here. So all I'm going to have you do is take this left knee to the left elbow. And if that's too intense, drop down to the right knee. So you've got left knee, left elbow. I'm going to do the modification. And then just go back and forth. So left, right, left, right. And doing this without any mental struggle or strain. So we feel the challenge, but we're not struggling. Good. And then left leg goes to the sky. So left leg lifts up high. And then as you exhale, I'm going to have you step forward between the hands. So coming into that lunge again. And some of you may be familiar with this movement. Some of you may not. It's called Scanda Sauna. So what you do is you turn to the right, and you're going to inhale as you bend that right knee. So it's like you're in a lunge. Yeah. Very crouching tiger, hidden dragon. I also saw a statue of Elvis in this pose, right? Just this last weekend. So now go ahead and bend to the left knee. So you're inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling to the right. Good, and then exhaling to the left. And again, focuses on just body and breath, right? Feeling this connection to your body. Inhaling. And exhaling. And maybe you're saying loving things to your body as you breathe into it. Once more, inhaling to the right. And now from there, we're facing the back of the mat. So go ahead and turn over that right knee. And one of the reasons why I have us move, and I know it's a little hard, I guess, right, with our cameras, because then we're not going to be facing. You know, it's probably better if we, I don't know, I'm trying to think how we can do the circular flow and then also still look at the screen. If you put your webcam maybe so that it's like facing the side of your mat, because I really like moving in a circular flow, and the reason why is it kind of gets us out of our mind, right? So it brings us into the moment when we change up the direction and stuff like that on the mat. So if you want to move it around to make it, you know, a little easier to follow, you can do that. So anyways, we're facing the back of the mat, right? And we're going to, from there, just stretch that right leg straight. So you're going to melt over the right leg and then bend the right knee. So inhaling, exhaling, drawing back. And let's do that 2 more times. Inhaling, lunging, chin lifts, frontal spine opens, exhaling. Once more, inhaling and exhaling. Good. From there, just take it back. Scanda Sauna again. So that means left knee bends and you inhale in. So we're lunging into that left leg again. You got it. We're not, oh yeah, but let's go ahead and enjoy a few more before we turn all the way around. Let's go ahead and enjoy a few more asanas, side to side. So you can go inhale to the left and exhale to the right. And the more that we practice together too, we'll start to get familiar kind of with the flow and the movement, so that'll help us too. Let's do one more to the left, inhaling. There you go, nice, ladies. And then go ahead and turn facing the back. Now you're facing, the front of your mat again over your left leg. And then we straighten that left leg. So melting the chest. And then inhaling into your lunge. So we lift the chin. Frontal spine opens, all of those chakras, right? Energy centers. Exhaling. Good, two more. Inhaling. Breathing that, all of the chakras, those centers, those sacred centers, healing and balance in all aspects of ourselves. Once more, inhaling, lifting the chin, and exhaling, drawing back. Good, awesome. Stepping back and dropping the left knee. So what this is called is side plank. All you're going to do is just circle your arm. That's a really awesome movement for shoulders. Really calming place to be. So just enjoy a couple breaths. Circling the arm around, feeling that awesome movement in your body. Once more, inhaling. Good. As you exhale, you'll go to the other side. So other knee goes down. You can be on your fingertips here too. Sometimes if you need to, a block can also be helpful, right? So you just inhale the arm around. Exhaling. Awesome. Turning back to your hands and your knees. And from there, chest comes down, but let's actually come to the forearms. So we're not going to go quite as deep as the full pose. So just resting on forearms. This is called Anahata, which means heart. So heart pose. If you can go a little deeper, you're welcome to bring the chest down to the ground. Steady flow of breath. Body slides forward, let the knees stay open. That is a really awesome movement right there. When you keep the knees at the width of the mat, it's like your whole pelvis gets to connect, right? To let go. So knees stay open. Hands to the floor. So now we start to feel where we're going here. Strong legs. Yeah, I love it. Let them paddle a little bit, right? And then shoulders come down the back and we lift up. So cobra or up dog. Again, that lower body strength. Igniting that back bend, and then from there, child's pose, let it go, right? Sitting back on the heels, emptying out, breathing smoothly, inhaling and exhaling. Letting your forehead rest on the ground. Body releasing. Good. I'm going to kind of keep us flowing along a little bit. So if you want to stay resting, feel free. But let's go ahead and take it to down dog. So hips float to the sky. As much as possible, again, stay connected to the breath flow. Counting in as you breathe in, or counting as you breathe in, counting as you breathe out. It's helpful. Inhaling and exhaling. Left leg rising, inhaling, reaching it to the sky. Exhaling, and we step forward in between the hands. So now we're going to pivot that back foot flat and come into Warrior Two. So a really helpful technique for Warrior Two, if you don't know this, is to imagine that you have a line going from your front heel to the middle of your back foot. And that's your alignment for your Warrior Two foundation, right? So a line from front heel to the very middle of your back foot. And then we're going to drop down into that left knee. Ah, maybe something comes out of the body there. Shoulders relaxed down.